Yes, welcome back, and happy Monday, and to another week here at the Purple Rain Podcast, episode 413. Just stay with me here, some receivers on here. The John Brown, Devin Duvernay, Chris Givens, Chris Matthews, quarterback Devin Leary, but now the first Elijah Surratt edition of the Purple Rain Podcast. Thank you for spending your Monday evening here with us. You can follow us here on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. This guy right here, Instagram or X, Sutton Def. Me, Instagram simply as10.prod, X simply as10. And if you have not subscribed already or liked the video, do that first and foremost. But if you have subscribed, sound off in the chat. Let us know if you were here. And if you were part of the replay gang, let us know in the comments below. Have a whole lot to talk about. Mandatory minicamp starts tomorrow. Ravens rumors, players going on podcasts, calling out coaches. Never a dull moment here with the Baltimore Ravens. Sutton, it is a new week. How was the weekend? How are we feeling?
Weekend was good. Feeling good. I just realized something earlier today. I think we have mandatory mini camp, and then there's like a little period of time where there's not really gonna be a whole lot going on. And it's like there's really like two parts to the off season, Alex. I've kind of realized that. Like you have the part of the off season again with the free agency and draft and all that good stuff. And then, once the dust kind of settles on all of that, you kind of get this lull of like, guys have like a 4-week, 5-week period of just like nothing happening. And that's what we're coming up on here. But no worries, because like you said, there's always something to talk about here in Ravens land, whether, you got players gossiping on podcasts, you got rumors floating out about the Ravens going up and maybe getting another tight end. Listen, tons to talk about. Never a dull moment in Ravens land, and never a dull moment here with the Rain Gang on the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. So please, like you said before, like the video and be sure to subscribe to the channel as well. If you are new here, we'd appreciate that. Big shout out to the live chat. Per usual, big shout out to the live chat. I see you guys in there. Afia, I see you. I see Cozy ISO in there. What's going on? Spicy Rice, what up? Stretch 626 is in there. 86 Ghosts is in the house. What up? What up? What up? I see Ashley. I see JR. I see Iwi. What's going on? Appreciate y'all for coming through. All of you guys, appreciate that. Appreciate that. And then Replay Gang, of course. Replay Gang. You guys already know what it is, man. Replay Gang. Shout out to y'all. Make sure you leave a hashtag Replay Gang in the comments section, right? And let us know your thoughts, comments, questions, concerns on this episode. Another thing, we got a gifted membership in the house. 86 Ghost dropping the gifted membership. Thank you so much. Just clap it up for 86 Ghost, man. Making it rain here. Being Santa Claus early here on this episode 413 of the Purple Rain Podcast. 86 Ghost, we appreciate you, brother. We appreciate that. And then the recipient of that was Godlike Creations. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Welcome to the Rain Gang family. Okay. So, Alex, I think it's time we get into the latest trade rumor that the Ravens were kind of linked to earlier today. And this kind of took me off guard. I'm not going to lie to you. So take a look at this, Alex. ESPN's Dan Graziano lists the Falcons tight end Kyle Pitts as an early trade deadline candidate to move and mentioned the Ravens in his reasoning. He says Baltimore lost a pair of tight ends, Isaiah Likely and Charlie Kohler, in free agency and could be looking for the kind of offense that Kyle Pitts can generate. Now, just kind of looking at this a little bit further here, the reason why these kind of these trade talks and these rumors are, I guess you could say, heating up in a way is because the stars are kind of aligning for the Falcons to move on from Kyle Pitts, right? Kyle Pitts was a former, 4th overall pick, which for a tight end is insane. I don't think that the Falcons feel like that they've gotten their return on investment. And, oh, yeah, by the way, they also, just like the Ravens, purged their entire coaching staff. And, the front office is totally different people now. It's totally different people running the show. I know that they think Drake London is their future since they just signed him to a big extension. I know they think Bijan Robinson, is their future because they're looking at getting him, a new deal as well. So Kyle Pitts may just be the odd man out here. And just kind of reading through this really quick, Alex says Atlanta is in extension mode at the moment. Top wide receiver Drake London just signed a 4-year, $141 million deal. They're also talking to Bijan Robinson about a massive extension. And Kyle Pitts could be part of that plan, but he's scheduled to play on a $15 million franchise tag this year if an extension is not done before July 15th. He's coming off his best season in his career, 88 catches, 928 yards, and 5 touchdowns. It says, but the previous 4 campaigns were spotted with inconsistent health and productions. The Falcons, particularly with the new coaching staff and front office, might want to see how he fits in their new offense before committing long term. If they don't get him extended by July 15th and that rankles him, and or they struggle early in the season, teams will come asking about the availability of the uber talented former top 10 pick, who doesn't turn 26 until October, so he's still young, Alex. Baltimore lost a pair of tight ends, like we said, Isaiah Likely and Kohler, in free agency, and they could be looking for the kind of offense that Pitts can generate. So, Alex, when you think about Kyle Pitts potentially being a trade target for our Baltimore Ravens, how does that make you feel? Like, what do you think about that?
How could you not be excited about the possibility of Kyle Pitts, Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, that duo of tight ends? And you take that with him having a good year for I think his first good year, I think his rookie year. I think he had a good rookie year, then kind of fell off. But think about the quarterbacks he's played with. Nobody really in their prime per se. So he goes to a quarterback who is still very much so in his prime, contrary to what you see online from Mike Florio. I promise you, Lamar Jackson is still in his prime. Don't think he isn't. He's still a damn good ball player, damn good quarterback. But you add him, and let's say it's at the deadline too. Once again, it could be that push. We talk about 2023, man. That Derrick Henry trade never got over the line. And we always sit here and wonder, what if? Not comparing the two, but when you look at the room, and let's say our rookie tight ends don't amount to what they think they will, and I'm not trying to put too much pressure on rookie guys coming out of, Bama and SMU. Get a Kyle Pitts throw in there. At a point, if those guys aren't panning out, the tight ends, Kyle Pitts would be a needle mover. Because you look at what you have, and you look at the productability, he's pushing you. So price has to be right. It would be a rental. I doubt they would extend him, but it's very interesting. And I think, man, how could you not be excited? Like I said, the price is right. I wouldn't say no to it. As long as our other two tight ends, aren't really showing out and you're taking snaps and opportunities away from them. I see TC here says, keep up the good work, fellas. Thank you for dropping the 5-piece. Yes, Monday edition of the Purple Rain podcast.
Thank you so much, TC, making it rain here on this episode, like you said, of the Purple Rain podcast. We appreciate that, man. Oh, we got another one.
Oh,
TC's dropping the 5-piece in the chat. JR is following it up, dropping his own 5-piece. Shout out to JR. Clap it up. Let's clap it up. JR, appreciate you, brother. Says, I can definitely see the Ravens making a move for Kyle Pitts. So can I. And, again, like, it just wasn't on my radar at all until this morning when I saw this article come out from ESPN. And once I started thinking about it, I was like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I mean, the Ravens did draft 2 tight ends, Hibner and Cuevas, who we expect at least one of them, if not both, to actually do well, especially considering how good the Ravens are at developing tight ends historically. However, losing what you lost in Isaiah Likely is going to be a much bigger pain point for the Ravens offense than I think we give it credit for. Frieza, appreciate the jewels, the gold coins. Appreciate that. Because Isaiah Likely was basically a hybrid tight end and receiver who Lamar Jackson just flat out in certain moments, in the biggest moments, trusted him, right? A big body guy could run, finds a open space in the zones, right? Makes himself available to Lamar Jackson. Kyle Pitts is a very similar type of kind of a pass catching threat that the Ravens could utilize, man. And I was watching some of his highlights earlier today, Alex, and I was thinking to myself, like, man, this would honestly complete, I think it would complete the Ravens receiving core. And I'm talking about wide receivers and tight ends, just pass catchers in general, because Alex, we went from having what I would consider an undersized receiving core and pass catching crew to if we were to get Kyle Pitts, you got all these big guys now. You got Kyle Pitts if he were to come over. You've got Jacoby Lane, Elijah Surratt, both 6'3" and above. You know what I'm saying? Like you've got guys then like who just big bodies on the field. Hibner and Cuevas, of course. I love the prospect of it, man. I really want the Ravens to explore this, pursue this. I mean, like you said, a 1-year rental is fine with me, but whatever we need to do to push these chips into the middle of the table, I'm here for it. Another thing, Alex, I want to toss at you. You know what Declan Doyle and this Ravens offense, based off of the past, and the Bears and things we saw like that last year with Declan Doyle's offense with the Bears, 13 personnel is going to be a thing, right? You're going to have 1 running back and 3 tight ends on the field at any given time, pretty much. And I think having a legitimate threat playmaker like a Kyle Pitts as one of those tight ends it would bode very well. It would bode very, very well for this offense. I believe that. I truly believe that. What do you think?
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up Declan Doyle because I think one of my players I came around to a lot last season was actually on the Chicago Bears, and that was tight end Colston Loveland. Let me just throw
Mm-hmm.
you some stats. When they finally got him going in his rookie year, here were some games as it got into the final games, like the games that meant a little bit more. Week 14, touchdown against the Packers. Week 15 against the Browns, 63 yards, 4 catches. Last 2 games of the year, 6 catches, 94 yards on a touchdown, 10 catches, 91 yards on a touchdown. Playoff time, 8 catches, 137 yards, and then 4 catches, 56. If Declan Doyle sees you as a guy with talent, he's going to use you. And Colston Loveland, once he just got adjusted to that NFL game speed, he turned it up. I think it was every week you saw Colston Loveland making the play. And not trying to compare the two, but freakish athletic ability. Kyle Pitts with the Ravens. I mean, he was making some catches last year. That's like, okay, that's why he was fourth overall. I think back that Thursday night game against the Bucks, he took it over.
Yeah.
He took
He
it
had
over,
three
and
touchdowns, I think, right?
he had three. He
Yeah.
had three, and obviously he's not a Raven yet, but he's 26, like you said. That could be a game we look back if he were to go on the upwards trajectory of his career. That could be the game where maybe it just kind of made sense for Kyle Pitts and everything worked out. But still a long way to go. But the prospect to him, like you said, Tez Walker as well, height in there. It would be very interesting if he were to become a Raven. Very interesting.
Yeah, and I think like having all of those bigger bodies at pass catcher, I think would also complement Zay Flowers even more, right? I think Zay Flowers would become even more of a dangerous weapon, right? When you have to worry about all these big bodies who can literally just go up over top you like basketball type of pass catchers, where they're on your head, on your head. Maybe not Elijah Surratt so much. He's good at it, but like I'm talking more so like Jacoby Lane or like a Kyle Pitts would be. Another thing about Kyle Pitts, he's basically just like a big body possession receiver, and that's what I love the most, right? 3rd and 6 over the middle. Who's stopping that? Like you cannot linebackers cannot guard Kyle Pitts. They just can't. They just can't. Much like linebackers had a really difficult time guarding Isaiah Likely, I think it's a very similar thing. And you would give somebody, well, not somebody, you would give Lamar Jackson a security blanket, right? That he really hasn't had before. Again, the closest thing I can think of is an Isaiah Likely. But yeah, you mentioned that Bucks game from last year, Falcons versus Bucks. I believe it was Thursday Night Football, if I'm not mistaken. One of the two. It was prime time. But yeah, that 3 touchdown performance, man, you can just tell that like he is okay. So maybe he shouldn't have been a 4th overall pick, but he definitely, you can tell he has that first round talent. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like he's finally coming along and coming into his own in this league. It just took a couple of seasons, and I think that if he were to come to Baltimore, him and Lamar Jackson together, he'd be one of the best tight ends in the league. I was looking up this this PFF stats
Yeah.
really quick, Alex. You see these here? Kyle Pitts 73.6 PFF grade last year, and again, take it with a grain of salt. However you feel about Pro Football Focus, but 928 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns, 10.5 yards per reception, and overall ranked 12th out of 37 tight ends on the season. So again, when you talk about 6'6", 246 pounds, and like we mentioned, not even 26 years old yet, I think that this would be a fabulous move for the Ravens to make. Now, in terms of trade capital, what are we giving up? What are we willing to give up for a Kyle Pitts, on a tag and trade coming from Atlanta, Alex?
So if it's mid-season, they're eating some of the contract, you're probably giving up a fourth, depending how much money you want to eat. And I know that may seem high, but 15 mil, fully guaranteed. If they're able to eat more money, I think they'll be willing to take that because that's more money off the Falcons' books.
Mhm.
But I don't think they would go day 2. EDC, he
Yeah.
values them way too much.
No. Anything
David.
over, anything higher than a 3rd round pick, no. It would have to be a 4th or something like that. I saw somebody in the chat say something about Rashad Bateman, packaging Bateman and sending him over to Atlanta. Listen, we're not doing that here, not on this episode of the show, okay? A bait hate book is filling up very, very nicely. If you're not in it already and you want to go in it, drop it in the comment section. So, because I want to make sure I see, drop it in the comment section. Because again, I'm taking names and I'm pulling up receipts this season.
I'll say one thing though. If Bateman isn't there tomorrow, I'll be disappointed. I'll be very disappointed for mandatory minicamp. Got
Well,
to be there.
he's gonna be there. It's mandatory. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
You hope.
mandatory.
You hope. Fingers
Yeah.
crossed.
I
Got
mean,
to
if
be
he's not there tomorrow, then like I might have to like put
good
myself
as
in the
gone.
book.
Good as gone. Good as gone.
Just kidding. Yeah, he's yeah. I would say that because like we get it. He had the baby and things like that, and even some people in our chat are like they disagree. They're like, oh, I mean, he doesn't have to be. They're not at practice all day, right? He can take a couple hours, hit up practice, and go home see the baby, whatever. That's his business. He's gonna do what he wants to do because it's voluntary. It's voluntary OTAs, but now it's mandatory. So if he wasn't there, I think that would be him taking a pretty clear, I guess you could say like stance in a way
Mm-hmm.
to like say like I'm not committed to this team right now, and if you want to trade me, go ahead and do so. Maybe it's just time, but I don't see that happening. I see him being there, especially after last week. Alex, remember you saw the clips from the Ravens Wired, right?
Mm-hmm.
With him and
Yep.
Declan Doyle chopping it up, going back and forth and stuff like that. I feel like he's just fine. He's just fine. He's going to be fine. This upcoming season, I'm hoping that his target share can increase a little bit. That way we can see some actual production out of him. Because some of you guys out there want Rashad Bateman to score 10 touchdowns and have 1,000-yard season on 24 targets. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what some of you guys out there want. Not calling any names, but you know who you are. You know who you are.
Man. Yeah, I mean, it looked like him and Declan Doyle had a good rapport, and I think nobody can really benefit more from this new offense than him. To be honest, I think Doyle will play to his strengths, much like we haven't seen other coaches do, and we'll be happy to talk about some of these former coaches. I know we have a great clip pulled up from one Mike Green, but this offense, though, it's going to be fun. I think all the news we hear throughout the summer, like, I'm going to have to temper my expectations. There's going to be tough days. Like, let's just be real. It's a new offense. There will be tough days. Can't overreact. Just getting out there now, June 8th. Don't overreact to 1 or 2 bad days in training camp, mini camp, all that.
Yeah. Alex, a while back I had Keeping It Real on the podcast on Quiet Storm Sports, and he asked me something like very, very interesting. And I don't think I ever brought it to you, but like, obviously, or maybe I have before, just let me know. But obviously the Ravens aren't going to win every single game. As much as we have our high hopes for the new Jesse Minter era, and Trey Hendrickson's a Raven now, and we've got all these new pieces and things like that. We're not going to win every game. There's going to be some bad Sundays where we lose. And I think that he was telling me, like, it's going to be interesting to see how this Ravens team handles a loss, right, under Jesse Minter. Like, what is that going to look like? How are we going to feel as Ravens fans? Like, it's just the response to that, I think, is going to be very intriguing whenever it does happen. Hell, it could happen week 1. I mean, I'm not going to win. I hope it doesn't. But how does this team basically respond to adversity? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get that, and the whole rah-rah guys out the building now, and it's how you lose. I think if there's a game where we're beat 60 minutes through and through, I know me and you will come up here like we did many times last year and said, we got beat. Now, if there's games where it's close and, it falls away and we see remnants of old teams, we'll call that out. And if there's games where it just doesn't look like we're prepared, we'll call that out as well. I hope it's not those two. I feel like we're going to be prepared for every game. The way Jesse Minter talks, the way we hear him in these mic'd ups, he's very detailed. Same with Declan Doyle as well. Very, very detailed. So that's a good point. How would the losses look? I mean, I'm going to get out the way. I don't want to kind of speak into existence, but we're going to have a heartbreaking loss this year. We're the Ravens. I mean, come on now. Expect it. It's going to be probably, a final drive. There's going to be a BS flag, and we're going to get talked about for the whole week on NFL Network, whatever. But it's a good point.
Yeah.
I hope it's not like last year, the losses, though. Not all losses are built the same, but
They're not. Yeah. I was actually just rewatching some of the games from last season, and I watched week 1. I watched the Bills, man. And, I was just like, it literally felt like I was watching it for the first time. And I got angry just like I was watching it for the first time because, like, there were 5 minutes left in the game, and we were up 15 points. 15 points, Alex. And we gave that game away to Josh Allen and the Bills, man. It was just, I was livid rewatching that, reliving that experience, man. And, those are the type of losses that you really do not, you can't afford. I mean, because like you said, all losses aren't built the same. That one really took a toll on the Ravens, right? And even the Ravens, I mean, the players came out and they said it. Like, we couldn't get right after week 1. And then week 2 or week 3, that's the one where Lamar Jackson he gets hurt against the Lions, right? And he's kind of
Yep.
never the same throughout the rest of the season. And yeah, I mean, I know they say it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. But last year, it was definitely about how the Ravens started, because there was a period in time, I think sometime in the middle of the season, where the Ravens had put together like maybe a 3 or 4 game win streak or something like that,
Mhm.
at a lull in our schedule where we didn't have too heavy competition, and Tyler Huntley was doing his thing, and but just how the Ravens started last year, you can't afford something like that. And then I think also in a Super Bowl window like the Ravens are squarely in right now, Alex, it's all the more important to start fast. You have to
Yeah.
start fast if you're this Ravens team, because the last thing that you would want, I think, is after all the hype around this offseason, hey, we got new coaches here, we got new players here, we got an edge rusher that we haven't ever had before, or a caliber edge rusher we've never had before. The expectations are so high. So I feel like if you come out and let's say you fall flat against the Colts week 1, right? The imposter syndrome is going to set in from then on out. Like the fraud syndrome, where it's like, oh shit, like, are we actually as good as we thought we were? You know? And so again, it's all the more important. And I love the fact that we get to start with the Colts. I mean, the Colts aren't a slouch either, but like, it just, you need to start fast. You need to start fast for morale this season. You do. Um, can't
And
be
it
the
starts in the
comeback kids.
preseason. It starts. I mean,
Yeah.
who's going to play in the preseason? That's not. I
Yeah.
don't think we're talking about that. Are we going to see starters? I know they've touched on it. They haven't told us. I doubt we're going to see the big guys like a Trey Hendrickson and Lamar. I doubt that. But the O line, we're going to see probably our starting five out there. I don't think. I think the only person that should be playing in preseason is probably Ronnie Stanley. Everybody else has to play, including
Yeah.
Roger Rosengarten. Those reps are valuable for him. Down year last year.
Yeah. Yeah. Roger Rosengarten is definitely one who I want to see improve. It's not like he was terrible last year. He was just wildly inconsistent for me,
Mm-hmm.
and being next to Daniel Faalele, that's probably what
Speaking
made him look.
of,
Yeah. Oh, speaking of him, what's going on
Speaking
with
of the
him?
Giants, another player has gone down with the I word bug.
Is that
Abdul
so?
Carter. I
Oh,
think he like twisted his brain something. Yeah.
that boy Harbaugh, man. Harbaugh different, man. I'm telling you, they gonna learn. They gonna learn in New York. It's all good. Just give it some time. Give it some time. They will learn. Oh man, I can honestly, I personally cannot wait to watch the Giants first. I hope we don't play in the same window as them week 1.
No, I
Um,
think they're on their prime time. I think I want to say.
oh, that's right, aren't they? Yeah, I think they
Yeah, we went through their
play.
schedule and
Yeah,
we went. Yeah, yeah.
are they that Thursday nighter?
They're Monday night against the Cowboys.
Monday night. Oh,
Or no,
perfect,
they're Sunday nights. That's Sunday night. Yeah, they're Sunday night. Never
perfect,
mind.
perfect,
Yeah, they're
perfect.
Sunday.
Cannot wait to watch John Harbaugh and his debut with the
How we kick up the
Giants.
feet a Jackson 5 to start the Jesse Minter era and watch a Giants hate watch? Please.
Oh
Please.
man, vibes will be
Please.
vibes are gonna be immaculate this season, man. I cannot wait.
Please.
All right, Alex, let's go ahead and move on here. Before we do, please be sure, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. If you are new here, again, this is the Purple Rain Podcast. We do this main pod every Monday and Thursday, and every day outside of that, we do also have Quiet Storm Sports available here on this channel too. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the second topic of the evening. To put a bow on the first one, listen, man, I would love having Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts, I think, would complete this offense. I mean, because I do tend to agree that the Ravens might be missing one extra pass catcher. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a receiver, but one more proven playmaker at pass catcher, and I think that Kyle Pitts would definitely fulfill that. Okay,
Mm.
so moving on here. This actually came out, I think it was on like Friday, Alex. Zay Flowers, speaking of pass catchers and the wide receiver room and things like that, Zay Flowers took to Twitter and responded to a podcast episode from Locked On Ravens, friend of the show, Kevin Ostreicher. He had Cordell Woodland on, also another friend of the show. And they were talking about this year's team and, if they're true Super Bowl contenders. And basically Cordell saying, I'll just let Cordell speak for himself.
With you, if I'm Baltimore, I would be surprised. And this is even with Bateman being a part of the equation. I would imagine that the Ravens are trying to bring in some sort of veteran wide receiver that can help this team. I would be surprised if they're not in on somebody like Stephon Diggs. Like, it's not many veteran receivers out there that are available these days that could help them, but I would imagine that they are out there kind of scouring around to see who can help them, because I don't think that if you're realistically looking at this year as a team that is Super Bowl a true Super Bowl contender, they should. I don't think that this is the wide receiver core that they should be going out there with. To be honest with you, I do think they need more of sure things, and that's nothing against these young guys, but they need development. They have to kind of get used to the speed of the NFL game. Practices is one thing. Right now, they're learning how to practice at the NFL level, but we're talking about then going on the field and going up against other top tier NFL talent on a weekly basis. You need consistency at that position. You have an MVP worthy quarterback. This is a team that's expecting to really make a run at it. I just don't think that realistically that can be done with Zay and the band, because that's essentially what it is right.
All right, so you heard it there,
Mm.
folks. Cordell Woodland, again, friend of the show. Shout out to him, and shout out to Kevin from Locked On Ravens. Both good guys, and they're having a good old conversation about the wide receiver room here. And I think what Cordell was saying, it had a lot of people kind of, it ruffled some feathers for sure. But I think there's a lot of truth to what he's saying here, Alex. You know what I mean? Like, because when you look at the wide receiver room as it currently stands, you do have Zay Flowers, and then after that, there are a bunch of question marks. I think that there's more answers than questions when it comes to Rashad Bateman, only because I'm capable of what he can do, and we've seen it before. There's nothing he can't do. There's nothing you can tell me that like Rashad Bateman cannot do. So I think that he'll step up, especially if he gets the targets and opportunities. But outside of that, I mean, Lane, Surratt, I mean, I'm thinking about, let's just say hypothetically speaking, right, Alex? Let's say the Ravens make it to the AFC Championship game. And here you are relying on, in the AFC Championship game, on Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews, which is cool. And then you got Bateman, Lane, Surratt, and Tez. At some point, I think is going to be asking a little bit too much of rookies and such young, inexperienced talent to win on a big level like that. That's why I really would have wanted the Ravens to bring back a D-Hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, bring in a D-Hop. He's already familiar with the system. He's already familiar with Lamar and things like that. He was, honestly, before Todd Monken basically shut him down in a way, because, again, I thought D-Hop should have gotten way more targets than he did last year, especially after that Bills game. Oh, first two games he was scoring touchdowns out the ass, Alex, and then we just never really saw D-Hop again. I think that Declan Doyle, I mean, if you bring in a D-Hop, that would definitely round out our receiving core. But do you agree? Do you share my assessment there about like why the Ravens might need to bring in a veteran wide receiver? Real quick before you share that, Alex, JR with the 5-piece in the chat, clap it up for him. Appreciate you, JR. JR says he agrees with Cordell. Why not go all in? Alex, what do you say?
It's a touchy subject because as someone who likes these receivers, I feel like it's a catch-22. So I do agree with him in the sense that you talk about a conference championship. Let's where we need to score. We have Bateman, we have Zay, and then after that, Tess has not gotten the reps, and I know we both like him. Depending how this year goes, and you have Lane and Surratt rookies. And you would like a guy like Diggs because we saw what he just did last year with the Patriots. He was a 1,000-yard receiver with Drake May, helped propel him to, MVP conversations, which, that's a whole different topic. I'm not even going to bring that up. But he was a key asset for him. Obviously, the off-the-field stuff you have to worry about, but strictly talking on-field ball, he'll be, he improved this receiving core. I think back to 2023. What do those veteran guys help us in the conference championship game? Aguilar had a touchdown in the divisional game, albeit a 2-yard wide open. Mm-hmm. But when we relied on those veterans in the conference championship game, what did we get? Aguilar dropped the pass on the first drive, which would have been a first down. Odell was non-existent. So I can kind of see, we're looking at it now, it's like, when has the juice been worth the squeeze sometimes with going for these veteran guys? And I think D Hop last year, if used correctly, would have been worth the contract. But to me, it's got to be the right profile receiver you bring in. It does, and I think D Hop would fit this build. And if he were to be used correctly, I think I'd be for it. Stephon Diggs, minus off the field stuff, 100% will be an improvement. 100% shoot this receiving core up.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill, I don't know what's coming. We just saw his foot going the wrong way. I don't know what. He'll probably be a Chief. Honestly, rolled out Tyreek Hill, he's going to be a Chief. They just re-signed L'Jarius Sneed. They're going to get the band back together and try to run it back with guys from 5 years ago. So
Yep.
just Tyreek's a Chief again. Just think of that. So basically, D-Hop, Keenan Allen, Stephon Diggs. And we talked about Keenan Allen to lengths. I think he would be an improvement here, but he's not going to get you 1,000 yards.
And like my thing is, I don't understand. Honestly, you mentioned Stephon Diggs and how he would turn up this wide receiver room pretty much instantly. I get it, he had 1,000-yard season last year. That's cool, but I still would prefer having a DeAndre Hopkins again, just because of the continuity there, and then also because like you got to think about what you're bringing in a veteran wide receiver to do. You're not bringing in a veteran wide receiver to replace Zay Flowers, right? You're not doing it for him to be wide receiver one and at the top of the target share charts. You're looking for him to basically provide stability. That's what D Hop provided for us in a lot of trying times for this offense. I can say last year, 3rd and 8, right? You really, really need this one. You really need it. I mean, D Hop runs an out route, right? And it's just a timing route, perfect timing route. Lamar Jackson gets it to him, and just the veteran experience of D Hop. He knows where to be, when to be there, in order to make a play for his team. And I just feel like, again, if that's what you're going to be asking a vet wide receiver to do, because newsflash, I mean, Stephon Diggs, he was in an offense where they were slanging that thing, right? And Drake May did not slanging it. He did not mind slanging it, right? I just think it'd be a totally different story here. Stephon Diggs would probably be pretty frustrated, I would say, by about like week 5 when he's not getting the targets that he feels like he deserves. But D Hop, I mean, is somebody who experienced that firsthand last year, not really getting targets and things like that. And he spoke up about it as well. And he's still willing to come back. I think that says something, so for me, it would be D Hop. But going on to this tweet here. So obviously they put that video, and Zay Flowers actually quote tweeted it and said, "Our room is going to be ready, Cordell." And he puts Cordell in parentheses, like there's like something wrong with his name or something. Like I don't really get that part. It was a little shady there for Mr. Zay Flowers, don't you think?
Yeah. I do the same thing when it's like, if let's say the Ravens are playing in, for example, Ben Skoranek had a big catch on us. I will go, of course, Ben Skoranek, catching. It's disrespectful. It's not meant in a term of endearment at all.
It's a little dig at Cordell.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I get it. But like Zay Flowers, like you kind of like this energy from Zay Flowers. I kind of like this energy. Zay is like coming out and making a public stance like, hey, look, like we don't need vets. I'm the vet now. I'm the vet. I'm going to put this team or this wide receiver room on my back. I'm going to usher in, this new talent in Lane and Surratt and really show them the way and things like that, and do the things that guys like Aguilar did for me and Odell did for me. So, I mean, I like the attitude. I do.
Just not to Cordell.
Just not to Cordell, exactly, because that's our boy.
Like,
and it's like
we have a journalist out there who has pushed the questions to a point of close to disrespect and close to like a limit of I don't say he's like stalking, but the questions get a little weird with a certain journalist. I'm not going to say his name. I don't want to get blocked. I know you are blocked by him. I'm going to leave it at that. But not to Cordell. You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad he feels that way, that he has that faith in the room. And I'll tell you what, from looking at Lane Surratt, these guys have a lot of trust in themselves. They have belief in themselves. I love that. But like he said, you're just learning how to do the NFL practices. And, you don't want to put these expectations on guys and they have a bad preseason. And we've seen that before. How many times have we drafted a receiver and then they don't really show out in the preseason, get stashed special teams? I know it's different coaching, but you never see them again. Confidence is shot. I don't want that to happen. For safety purposes, I wouldn't hate bringing in that guy. I don't think it won't do any harm. I think it would just do good. A lot of balls to go around in camp. They probably wouldn't even play in the preseason. If it doesn't work out, you move on. Win-win.
Cordell says Zay and the gang. Yeah, he did. I mean, Cordell's not really looking like he's believing too heavy in this receiving core. And I get it. I get it. We still got to see what these rookies can do. But yes, outside of Zay Flowers, you're looking at Rashad Bateman. I know a lot of you guys look at Rashad Bateman as like garbage trash. Like, yeah, a lot of you guys look at Rashad Bateman like that. But I'm here to tell you. You get that guy in a rhythm, he's going to be damn good this season. I think Zay Flowers is going to be damn good this season. I would be more of a proponent, like, remember, like we started the show with, trade for a Kyle Pitts. Trade for a Kyle Pitts, and you can keep the receiving core exactly as is. I'd be perfectly fine with that. Me personally. But I guess we'll see. I guess we will see. 191 people watching live right now across all platforms. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode 413 of the Purple Rain podcast. Please be sure, if you're watching on YouTube, leave a like. That's right, a thumbs up on this video goes a very, very long way. If you're part of the replay gang, not only do I need you to like this video, I need you to hype this video as well. Another super chat donation.
Y'all talking about WR. Meantime, the center position is still up for grabs. Can't throw under pressure. No digs, please.
Young Brew 9032 dropping the 10 piece in the chat. Clap it up for him, making it rain here on this episode 413 of PRP. Y'all talking about wide receiver. Meantime, the center position is still up for grabs. Can't throw under pressure. No digs, please. Yeah, so you are not forgetting to put the horse before the cart here. You've got your priorities in order here, Young Brew, because you're absolutely right. Your offensive line has to be shored up, and it has to make sense in order for a pass game to work just in general. And yes, that center position is still a huge question mark, probably the biggest question mark on this Ravens team. But I do have faith in Dwayne Ledford, and because I feel like this, Alex. If Dwayne Ledford did not already know in his mind who was like kind of leading for him in terms of like winning that center job, then he would have been asked, I think, Coach Jesse and Eric DeCosta, hey, look, we need to go bring a guy in. By now, I think they would have done that. But I think that they're good with Danny Pinter. I think that they're good with Javon Gwynn. I think that, Corey Bullock's somewhere in there as well in that mix. And I guess we'll see in mini camp, kind of like you will get a better idea of what their plan is for that position. But as of right now, I mean, we're just literally blindly trusting this coaching staff, right?
Yeah, and the way he talked about Gwynn is like this has been his guy. I think he maybe saw a diamond in the rough, developed him in Atlanta, able to poach him over to Baltimore, and it wouldn't surprise me if he's pushing. But I think Pinter right now is leading it, and I think from everything we've heard from them, Pinter is definitely leading it. But we don't know. We won't know until preseason. I think it'll be a question mark up until August. So you got 2.5 more months probably of wondering who our center will be, because we won't know the starting five line until week 1, into the warm-ups, till we see a tweet saying this is the Ravens starting lineup in warm-ups.
Yeah.
So I think we do sign a lineman, probably a vet, maybe like a guard, but it won't be anybody of big name. It'll be a guy who's been around the block, probably 40, 50 career starts. Shore up the line just in case.
Yeah. But it is definitely one of those things, Alex, where like, okay, we're going to trust the coaching staff going into the season. We're not going to go out and draft a center. We're not going to pick up a center in free agency. We're not going to try to trade for one. Okay, cool. Got y'all guys, but if that doesn't work out, again, if that's a big pain point for this Ravens offense and, snaps are going east, west, and north and south, and Lamar Jackson, look, yeah. There's going to be some pitchforks. There's going to be some pitchforks out because we told you. And honestly, Alex, us end of the bar fans tend to be pretty damn right. I mean, I've been seeing a lot recently, man. This is a perfect segue here because once again, Ravens fans, us end of the bar fans, right? Just drunk off our ass. We're watching football like it's just a gladiator sport, and it's just like we're just bloodthirsty and we're just meatheads who don't know anything about football, nothing like that. Time and time again, Ravens players prove those end of the bar fans right. Those ones that John Harbaugh said don't know anything about football, have never won anything. Super Bowl or bust is crazy. Alex. And Young Brew, appreciate the super chat donation, brother. Thank you so much. Mike Green was on the Ravens Lounge podcast. and he had some very interesting things to say about last year's pass rush. Let's take a listen to Mike Green talking about the Ravens 2025 defense.
To just be quite blunt, I just feel like, you know, different coaches have different philosophies for how they want you to attack the quarterback or how they want you to pass rush, and I just feel like the philosophy that was being coached to us last year probably wasn't the best for us, and I think that you kind of have to shape around your pass rushers and like what they're good at. And when we get in certain situations where we can't really attack the quarterback or can't really get into certain calls, that takes a lot away from your pass rushing ability.
Interesting.
So I think just that versus now, Jesse, when he was at the Chargers, that kind of just speaks for itself.
Well, Odafe, right? Odafe went off when he left. So I think there's some evidence to what you're saying.
Yeah, that kind of speaks for itself. He's known to run and structure a great defense that attacks the quarterback. So, when he came over here and we're going over the philosophies and things like that, it aligned up to what a lot of us bring to the table.
Ooh. So Mike Green said a lot there, and Alex, I want to let you go first on this one, but
Yes.
I just want to say like real fast, like isn't it weird that on the Ravens subsidized podcast they allowed him to say something like this?
This is gonna be my first point. The fact that they did not cut this out, the fact this made not only the audio but the visual podcast. It's like, for me, it's one thing if they make the audio and you cut it from the visual, but it made both. So you can't sit here and say it's a deep fake. It's not AI, because I don't know who's AIing Mike Green's voice, with all due respect. But the fact that we just saw our second round pick from last year, first round talent, say that the coaches we're not coaching correctly, not playing players to their strengths, is unbelievable. And I thought the Ravens would have wiped this off the internet the way they've wiped stuff off before, but it's a new regime, and maybe, we're starting to see who has a little bit more power than we thought had power, in years prior. I'm going to say that, but holy crap, this was a lot. I was surprised when I saw it, but it's nothing we didn't know. The Lions game, we saw him lining up in the box. Why? When has he ever lined up in that position? College, not at Virginia Tech, not at Marshall. It's the NFL. Let's throw him there. He'll do something. I'm just mind blown at the fact that this is on the internet. And Matt Rassa says, Zach Orr Warhawk worst hires ever in Dr. Rush.
I mean,
Zach Orr,
Dr. Rush, it was good while it lasted, right? It was good.
Dr.
Till it
Rush
wasn't.
in 23. Clowney, Owe got double-digit sacks. Clowney revitalized his career. Van Noy had back-to-back seasons, I think, with double-digit or was close to double-digit sacks. Last year, I just have to give everybody a clean slate, because last year just wasn't real at a point. Yeah. That was not a Ravens defense. That was a Pee-wee, Randallstown, Ratbirds team. You know what I mean?
Is crazy.
They're not the Ravens. It's the Columbia Ravens. That's who it is. Because that's who I play as Pee-wee. The Columbia Ravens was who that defense was last year. It was awful. It was absolutely awful. So it's more telling the fact this is on the internet right now, and we're getting to see. Because Mike Green, we talk about guys stepping up next year. He's one of them, and here's from his mouth.
And it was like the fact that he literally says here, like, there were times where we weren't allowed to rush. Like the philosophy being coached to us was like, hey, look, basically just contain. Never pin your ears back and get after the quarterback. Just contain. And like you saw that, like, and I thought that, like, again, and this is why I was so glad that Mike Green came out and said that, because like I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew what I was watching was what I was thinking. Because a lot of times last year you had quarterbacks dropping back, and again, just patting the football, you know what I'm saying? And our guys could never get home. And it was almost like they were being told to just basically keep the pocket open, right? Keep the pocket open and clean for the quarterback. And I think I said this on Quiet Storm the other day, Alex, is like, it's almost as if like the Ravens were playing it's almost as if they were playing defense as if they were playing against a Lamar Jackson every week. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to contain. Don't let him get out of the pocket and things like that. It's like they were playing exactly how you would prepare for, how you would play against a Lamar Jackson. It's like, bro, we're going up against Josh Allen this week. We're going up against Jared Goff this week. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't just give these guys time in the pocket, right? Get after them. And so, man, and look, the whole dropping back in the coverage thing, it happens. I get it. Like lots of coordinators across the league do that. And when it works, it works. It's great, but it's just not something that you should see as often, not nearly as often as we saw it last year. I mean, as we saw at Marshall, Mike Green, his specialty is getting after the quarterback, right? Not dropping back into a zone and having him process and things like that. No. Listen, man, it's so crazy. It is so crazy to me. It's wild.
And I see we have a super chat real quick, but the epitome of this Ravens defense was that Patriots game last year. We had Kyle Van Noy dropping back into coverage. Drake May got his signature win last year against us. It's the only game they'll post highlights from. Like that's the only game. And somebody made a perfect point. It's like watching 7-on-7. That's how much time that Drake May had.
Yeah.
Third and 19, 25 yards down the field, first down.
I think back to these times, like I think it was again back to that week 1 game against the Bills. Remember when halftime was coming up, right? And it was like third and whatever, and the Bills, we rushed nobody. We rushed no one. Like even the announcers, the analysts were like shocked, like, oh, the Ravens aren't rushing anybody here. And Josh Allen just still threw it right down the field. If that didn't tell you right then and there that this coaching staff needed to go, I don't know what else. That was probably the most like damning moment, I think. For that coaching staff, the entire, because it's just like, bro, I did not understand it for the life of me. Lonely Kid dropping the $2 super chat donation. Appreciate you, Lonely Kid. Also appreciate Mad Ross that says, where did he lie though, Sutton and Alex? He didn't lie. Told no lies.
He gave us.
Oh,
he pulled
gave
the
us
Zay
the
on
quotations?
us.
Oh,
He
man.
pulled the Zay on us. Oh man, he didn't lie. It's the best part.
He didn't. No lies told. Thank you so much, Lonely Kid. Justin Hayes dropping the 5-piece in the chat. Let's clap it up. Appreciate you, Justin. Justin says Lamar with play action deference to place the ball and his ability to shift the pocket will negate potential O-line issues. Yes. However, I do still want some clean pockets. I think back to 2019 Lamar. I think back to 2023 Lamar when he actually had clean pockets. Did you see what he was doing? Getting it to guys like Chris Moore and Seth Roberts. You know what I'm saying? Like with a clean pocket, I mean, Lamar Jackson could do no wrong. So while I do recognize that, yes, he has amazing pocket awareness, probably one of his best traits to me. Right? Nobody really talks about it that much, but go look at Lamar Jackson highlights where he's like dancing around and navigating the pocket. Like he's a genius. He's a genius at that. And but I just don't want him running for his life, right? Because the last thing I want is because Lamar Jackson, he doesn't give up on the play. He's not like a Tom Brady, where he sees a guy coming at him and he's just gonna get down, or like a Peyton Manning, guys like that. He's the guy who is going to dance around, pirouette, corkscrew here, try to get free there. And sometimes that leads to him getting clipped up. I look back at that Lions game. That's exactly what happened. That Lions game, I mean, he got tripped up by his ankle, right? The guy like rolls around on his ankle, and Lamar Jackson was never right ever since then. So it's like, no, I definitely would prefer Lamar to not have to use those pocket scrambling abilities, at least not as often.
That line was so poor that game.
Yeah.
I mean, they had him running for his life, hobbling, and the fact he trotted out those same guys week in and week out. Let me not get myself riled up, because that is just, insane is an understatement.
It is. Justin, appreciate you so much for the super chat
you.
donation, brother. Listen, over 200 people watching live right now. Shout out to you guys so much. Please like the video. That's right. Like the video if you're watching on YouTube. If you're part of the replay gang, hype the video. That helps us out too with the algorithm. Appreciate you guys so much. Mad Ross is dropping another super chat donation. Appreciate you, brother. Says Rodgers versus Ravens defense was the worst. Oh yeah, Aaron Rodgers had a time of his life against the Ravens. He was looking like vintage Aaron Rodgers at times against our Baltimore Ravens defense, man. Man.
Embarrassing. Let him turn the clock back. It's just flat out embarrassing.
I mean, I'm throwing like deep balls up the sideline. The DK Metcalf and Marlon Humphrey couldn't keep up with him. It was just bad. It was all around bad. But again, man, that's why I have so much faith. And you know what, Alex, we can actually go here because I saw something on Twitter earlier today. It said that the Ravens have actually the second most expensive defense in the league right now, only behind the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think knowing that puts a lot more pressure on this defense to perform. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, but it's also towards a huge chunk of that is towards a couple of players. And a couple of players that we are on record of saying they've been underperforming for a while now.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you have Kyle Hamilton, Hamilton's now the second highest paid safety in the league. Roquan, I don't know where he's at for linebackers, but he might still be all the way up there. Humphreys, his contract's pretty fat as well. Matabike, who didn't even play last year. So, I mean, when you see that stat, it's like, well, we better see the results from you guys, and we just got bottom 5 play last year. What gives? And I don't want to feel like I'm bashing the guy, but that's why I'm so hard on Roquan. If you're making that much money, $32 million cap it this year, I expect my linebacker to be making some game-changing plays, right? Or is that me asking too much? I just want to know. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that's definitely not asking too much. I mean, it's like, listen, man, Roquan Smith, and I was just looking at his contract. He still has the third largest linebacker contract in the National Football League, behind Brian Burns and Josh Hines Allen. But anyways, with when it comes to Roquan Smith, he is still a damn good tackler. Like he can do that, but it's just like, especially, playing for the Baltimore Ravens, where the linebacker position, the middle linebacker position, is a very storied position. We know what greatness at that position looks like. We're all too familiar with it, right? And so to see like games where like Roquan Smith, you literally just kind of forget he's on the field. That's unacceptable. That's just not the linebacker position in Baltimore. Is supposed to be a absolute dog, right? Team leader, which Roquan, he can be at times, but he leads more verbally than by example, at times. Like I need to see some forced fumbles. I need to see some picks. I need to see something, Hopefully he turns that clock back this year and comes in shape and things like that, because the weight was a big issue for him at one point, I know. But yeah, I mean, Roquan, for all the money that we're paying him, he's definitely got to step up this year for sure. But yeah, I mean, we're talking about the defense and how expensive it is. Like, I think that puts a lot of pressure on Jesse Minter, even because Jesse Minter is, again, defensive-minded head coach. He's coming in from LA, was able to turn their defense from 0 to hero in only a season. And I think Jesse Minter could do the same thing here, especially considering the talent pool, I think, is better pound for pound on the Ravens defense than it is with the Chargers defense. So we'll see, but it does put extra pressure. If this is not a top 3, we talked to Femi Ayambadejo about this last week. If this is not like a top 3 defensive unit, anything below top 3, top 5 is a failure to me. There's just too many weapons, right? And there's too much brain power in the building now for our defense to be anything less than a top 5 defense in this league. I'll say that.
I just pulled up Roquan's stats real quick. 76 solo tackles, 5 tackles for losses, 4 quarterback hits, 3 passes, defensed, and 1 fumble return for a touchdown against the Browns in week 2.
Yeah. Which, I mean, on that Browns play, he was moving. He was moving pretty quick. I mean, we talked about the weight, but on that fumble recovery where he took it in for the touchdown, man, he was moving. He was flying out there. I just rewatched that game yesterday too. Let me see what the chat is saying here. It's the best defense in the league. No shot. It isn't top 3. There's some defenses out there that,
There's some Texans,
hell, Cowboys. Like, didn't the Cowboys get they got that safety right in the draft? Caleb Downs.
Yep.
Yeah, they got Caleb Downs. And I forgot they still had Quinnen Williams, bro.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they've got some pieces in Dallas, man. I mean, that Brazil game is going to be a hard fought one. Very hard fought game.
I like the Steelers defense as well. I think they made some good signings. Justin here says, let's hope Hendrickson, at least one of the youngins at edge, will be living in the backfield. He said both.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you, whether it be Zion Young, Mike Green. Hopefully it's Mike Green and then Zion Young come on later at the end of the year, but Hendrickson first and foremost, man.
Oh yeah. But I mean, you know, it's funny because
Hendrickson, sorry, if he can get it's like a sack or two his first game, just get off the mark. I think that the biggest thing for these high profile, high contract guys is just worrying about the stats. You get that first sack out the way, there you go. Floodgates open.
You're right. You're right. You just got to see one go through the hoop. With Mike Green in that interview that we were just watching, one of the parts that it didn't show in that clip was how, you know, he was saying how Trey Hendrickson is basically he's confirming what we're saying. He's going to allow Mike Green to be one-on-one and take a lot of attention off of him. And like, what better situation could you be going into as Mike Green in year 2, right? Like you've already got the rookie year experience under your belt with some coaches that maybe weren't using you to the best of your abilities, according to him, his words, right? And then also, he also said in that interview, he's bigger than he's ever been right now. He's bigger than he's ever been. And that's what we needed, again, because like against those NFL level tackles, a lot of his power was really getting absorbed. And, you know, if he can put on some weight and some muscle, he said he's put on more muscle this year. So that combined with a defensive minded head coach, combined with one of the best pass rushers in the league opposite you, who you can learn from, man. I mean, the expectations that I have for Mike Green, sky high. I think he can go for at least 8 sacks this season. At least 8 sacks. Yeah. But Justin, appreciate you so much for the super chat donation. Let's clap it up for him. Yes, sir. I definitely hope one of the youngins are living in the backfield. Like you mentioned, Zion Young, I'm looking for him to be more of an enforcer. I want him to be an enforcer on this defense, right? You're not running to his side of the field. Like, period. Right? Like,
if you
I
do,
need him to.
You'll hear about it.
Exactly. I need him to change the math when it comes to like run plays. Like, oh, we don't want to run to that side. And then also, like you said, you're gonna hear about it from him all game long. I want him talking to dudes, getting people off of their game. Like, that is going to be, man, glorious to watch on Sundays. I cannot wait. Hell, like we mentioned last week, those joint practices, we're gonna see some of it there too. Another one. This one's coming from Asmodeus. You guys making it rain today. Appreciate you, Asmodeus. Let's clap it up for him. Shout out to you, brother. Says, late message. The mentor era already stands apart from the Harbs era due to transparency. MG, I like Pitts. Agree with center, but don't like the options, and I would welcome a tight end. Yeah, we're on the same page with liking Pitts and bringing in a tight end. I definitely do agree there. Well, now you say it stands apart from Harbs due to transparency. MG.
Mike Green. I believe the comments. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah, I mean, it feels like there's going to be more of a culture of accountability now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? No more of this, Super Bowl or bust. Whoever says that is just phony and they never won anything. Like, no more of that loser mentality, right? I mean, we were, bro. It pisses me off so bad, Alex. Like, we really were being gaslit to no end by John Harbaugh, right?
He has shooters. Harbaugh has shooters, which is the craziest part. I remember after we lost the Lions game, I said fire Harbaugh. I had some guy absolutely tearing me apart on Twitter. He went and found like what teams I liked. Like, you're a loser because this team. Like, the Harbaugh's breath. I'm like, dude, like, I didn't know Harbaugh pays like your rent. I'm sorry. I'm like, forgive me for criticizing the coach of a team that has Super Bowl expectations and is shit in the bed. That's one thing, man. I hope it is different, and I hope that we don't get the same cookie cutter nonsense, because the same shit's happened in New York. I saw comments about the whole I word with Abdul Carter, not the Ravens, but the Giants. Mm-hmm. Same stuff. Gaslighting. Just gaslighting. Asmodeus here. Thank you again, says even EDC was transparent not drafting a center. It makes you wonder, man. Common denominator.
Yeah. You're right. Man, I can't wait to see what happens with the center position, man. Because again, like we mentioned earlier, if it's one of those things where that starts to like rear its ugly head on us, then yeah, it's gonna be smoke. It will be smoke in Charm City. That is for sure. But thank you so much, Asmodeus, for your super chat donation. We appreciate you, brother. Steve Loop is in the chat. What's going on, Mr. Loop? Appreciate you for coming through as well. Mr. Tyler Loop was looking pretty good in OTAs. I don't know if you saw, but he was.
I saw the videos.
I think he only missed like one kick. I think he only missed
Saw the
one kick.
videos.
Yeah. Year two loop. We got to start doing the because we got to get Tyler Loop fired up, right? We got to make him feel at home and stuff like that. Again, we love Tyler Loop for everything he's done for this franchise. You know, but when he makes a kick, I feel like they should do the loop.
They do.
You know what I'm
They do. It's at
do
the
that?
bank. It gets loud. It gets loud.
Okay,
It gets
okay,
loud.
good.
Gets loud.
That warms my heart. Okay,
Leave that.
good. Shout out to you, Mr. Loop. Okay. I don't think there was anything else from me, Alex. Was there anything else we missed?
I think no more Ravens news.
Okay.
Tell you what, I know you have been watching. That UFO, that's some damn good ball being played, some spring ball. Got the championship next week. It's DC Defenders against the Louisville Kings. It's their first season as a franchise. And it has the coaches Chris Redmond, former Raven quarterback, wide receiver coach Tony Banks, former Raven quarterback, defensive coordinator Jamie Sharper, and secondary coach Chris McAllister. So a lot of Raven ties with them. But it's some good ball being played over there, and I'm kind of happy to see if some of these guys get picked up by some NFL teams after the season.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I have not watched a game, bro, admittedly. I have not watched a game. I really want to, but like I never get around to. I don't know. I just never get around. I don't know when they're on. I feel like it's just super random, but the DC Defenders are in the championship, huh?
And it's in DC, 50 cents a halftime show. So why not?
Oh, that's fun.
The thing with UFL, they've had these halftime shows for the games, and they've had like who was one of them? Gucci Mane was one of them. That was a good one. Had a couple of country singers like Lower Key, and then 50 Cent doing the halftime show. It's cool. Like they know their level and they're not going above it, but it's not bad football being played at all either.
True. Okay. Yeah, maybe you said what day is the championship again?
Let me take a look. It is Saturday. This Saturday at 3:00.
Okay. This Saturday at 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be
out.
at the Oriole game, so I'll probably have it on my phone. But
oh, true. The O's suck though, don't they?
they're underperforming. Underperforming. Yeah.
Listen, guys, drop some questions in the chat. Or in the comments section down below if you're part of the replay gang. Answer a couple questions here before we get out of here on this episode of the show. You mentioned the World Cup.
Yes.
World Cup starts in 3 days. Wait, is it USA plays in 3 days?
We play Friday at 9:00 Eastern time. 9:00.
Friday at 9 a.m.
9 p.m. It's all gonna be relative to us because it's USA, so it'll be times that we're used to watching big sporting events at.
True, 9 p.m. is kind of late, no?
They're playing the West Coast, them. Had to give them a West Coast couple of games. So.
And who do they play again? Who'd you say they play?
I believe it is Paraguay. Yes, Paraguay. If they don't win this game, they played Germany on Saturday. Lost 2-1, but it was a very respectable performance. It looked good, control possession. They should be winning this game 3-1 or 2-0.
Alex, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to explain to me in NFL terms what it would mean for USA to win the World Cup.
The 0-16 Browns win the Super Bowl.
Come on, Alex. Don't do us like that. Come on, bro.
We're the 16th ranked nation. We've won one knockout game in our history. That was in 2002.
But
I'm just going in for the vibes.
Browns? Not even like a humble Cardinals. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like just something.
Okay,
like,
maybe that's crazy.
Ass?
Maybe that's like a smaller country. But for the USA, we don't really have a chance. We don't stand a chance. That's kind of what I like. Just like get into the knockout rounds, anything can happen. But we do have a good crop of players. It's just will they step up, and that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. So I think we've had some respectable performances, but I think as well, like you win the first two games, you go against Turkey, who's a good footballing nation. You get something against them, you're feeling good. But you got to win at least a knockout game this World Cup. Give us a reason to be excited. Give me a reason to get my hopes up. That's what I'm asking for.
Okay. We will be there. We will be watching. We will be watching. We'll see if we can get some W's here for good old Team USA. Some questions here. Kyle Pitts wants a trade? Question mark. Not. We don't know if he wants a trade, right? We know he's going to play on the franchise tag if they do not come to an agreement by, I believe, July 18th, for a extension for him. And I'm sure, no player wants to play on the franchise tag. They want that security. They want to be locked up for a couple of years with good money on the way. So, but like we mentioned earlier, it just makes sense for the Falcons to heavily consider trading Kyle Pitts, especially considering, again, you just had to pay Drake London. You're going to have to pay Bijan, right? You got an entirely new coaching staff in front office that did not draft. It had nothing to do with drafting Kyle Pitts. So it would make some sense. But we don't know what his volition is, Kyle Pitts, necessarily. Let me see. I see some of you guys talking about Kenyon Sadiq in here. Nick Ulrich says Pitts can't block and was overhyped and now comes with a steep price tag. And the Sadiq over Pitts comes from size and production comps. Yeah, definitely not the best blocker. But then again,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like he'd be a similar, maybe not quite as good, but similar level blocker to Isaiah Likely. You know what I'm saying?
Good point. I mean, yeah.
Let me see. Another question
Get in
here.
the
This one's
ball
coming
space.
from Cash. Says, do you think Minter will be more aggressive, Alex?
Aggressive as in like a 3rd and 10 and we're bringing a blitz. I think he'll be aggressive in play calling, 100%. I think he knows that we have to get sacks. I think we'll see the first couple of games. I think that Mike Green interview, it's like a dark cloud over their head. Because we had a lot of guys who had sacks in their careers. Kyle Van Noy, obviously Mike Green had how many out of Marshall? And the fact you are bottom 5 in the league in sacks, that's going to play like something mental with you. Get these guys off the mark, get them their sacks. I think he'll be aggressive in the early games, and depending how the game flow goes, and I don't see why he wouldn't be aggressive. I don't want to bring cover 0, Wink Martindale special. By doing him to throw some looks where it's confusing the quarterback. I don't want Tavon Young coming off of the blitz and getting lit up by a tight end.
Yeah, and I think like on the offensive side of the football, I think you're going to see a lot of aggression. I think you're going to see the Ravens, much like they've done in recent years past, like going for it on anything 4th and 2 or less, going for it automatically. You have Lamar Jackson, you use him. Hell, it might even be 4th and 3. Okay, like I would be cool with it. I'd be cool with it. If it makes sense. As long as we're not like backed up at our own like 2-yard line, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I do think that Minter will be more aggressive. That's kind of like a staple of some of what these younger coaches do. You know what I'm saying? Like they throw these new kind of wrinkles in their schemes at the league, and it's all seen as like very like, for example, like Mike McDonald. Very aggressive defense, but it's super disguised and things like that. You really don't know what's happening until it's actually happening and in your face. I think that Jesse Minter is going to be the exact same way. And with the players that we have, and specifically talking like defense here, he's going to be able to do everything that he wants in his scheme. I say it all the time. Like, if Jesse Minter was a chef, right? He walked into a kitchen, a Baltimore Ravens kitchen that had every ingredient known to man that he could want to use, right? So I definitely think he'll be more aggressive for sure.
I'm glad you bring up the coach real quick, because to me, I think the best game of the year last year was that Thursday night game, the Rams and the Seahawks. And the Seahawks could have tied it up, but they went for 2 and won the game. In Seattle. Young coach, aggressive. I think we'll see Jesse Minter have an opportunity like that. A 2 to win the game.
Yeah.
Will they go for it? I know Lamar won't want to go for it.
Hell yeah, coach. Let's go for it.
Yeah, exactly.
You already know.
That's a good point about the younger coaches. They do throw their own wrinkles.
All right, let me see. So another one coming from Smitty86 says, if you scramble eggs, isn't that still frying chicken?
Okay. Never thought of that.
I never saw it like that. I never saw it.
Modern day
Even when you think about it, though. Yeah, but if you scramble eggs, isn't that still frying chicken? Yes and no, because you're not technically frying it.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know.
That's a good question.
It's a good question,
That's a
though.
good one.
It's a good question.
Little brain teaser.
Yeah, it is. It is. All right. God's favorite says, Sutton, what throwback movie did you and the missus end up watching? None. Not that night. You guys got me all messed up. And, I was... I'm going to have to start recording some of my Friday nights. I'm going to go live on some of these Friday nights where it's just me and my lady just chilling. Because after those happy hour streams, man, Alex did a happy hour stream on last Friday, man. Chat tried to kill me.
How many?
But
How many?
I can't even count, bro. I mean, they at least had me take like a good 8 shots, maybe.
Oh, now.
Yeah. They
But
were
the most important, you drank responsibly in the comfort of your own home.
facts.
There you go.
Facts. Yeah. Let me see. Why are the Ravens so passive, aka won't make moves like the Rams and love to gamble on the most important positions? I would disagree with this one, Matt Rasta, because we just saw Eric DeCosta try to land Max Crosby and Trey Hendrickson, and I get it. Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. I understand that, but at the same time, I think that it did kind of show you that they were willing to go all in, push their chips to the middle of the table and give up 2 first-round picks. So I think that the era of the Ravens front office, aka Eric DeCosta, being super passive and not taking big swings, I think that's over. I think that Eric DeCosta knows that he's next on the chopping block, right?
Yeah.
Like if the Ravens fall short a couple, for the next couple of years or something like that, and some of the rookies just don't pan out, whatever that may look like, Eric DeCosta could get the boot. Because if John could get it, Eric could get it for sure, So yeah.
That's a good point. I think he's so reluctant to give up picks is kind of, he learned from Ozzie. And Ozzie had a fantastic track record outside of receivers. Love you, Ozzie, but let me just call a spade a spade. He was such a fantastic drafter. Quan, thank you for subscribing.
Yes,
and I think
sir.
EDC kind of wants to emulate that success. And EDC's been more successful in receivers, obviously, but he just has reluctancy to give up those picks. And I think it was definitely saying something, the fact he was willing to move off of 2 first for Max Crosby. Maybe it's a changing of the guards, but the whole Myles Garrett thing, man, we could have traded for Daniel Hunter from the Vikings, I think, when it happened. Or if he was a free agent, didn't go after it. There's been times we didn't go after guys who were out there, but who knows? Maybe it was Harvard holding him back. Clean slate, I guess. But I agree with the gambling on the most important positions. Gambling on the line is a worry.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So I think that's going to just about do it here for this episode 413 of PRP. Again, appreciate you guys so much for coming out to this one. It has been an amazing one. Let me see it. Afia says, what time is the game tonight? 8:30. Yes, 8:30, 7:30 my time here in Texas. Definitely got to get ready to watch that, man. Spurs got their backs up against the wall. 2-0 Knicks right now. I know they're going absolutely nuts in New York. Apparently the president's going to be there tonight. It's a big thing. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. And I'm going to watch it. I hope the Spurs win. I want this to be a better series than it has been so far. But have you been following?
I have, but you got that damn Choosing Texas song in my head now. Because you said Texas.
Oh, who's that? Ella Langley?
Ella Langley, now stuck in my head.
Yeah.
Thank you, son.
That's a good song.
Her voice is low. Oh.
It's a typical country song. It's so honestly, it's almost as if Chat GPT made a country song. It's perfect.
Great. That's a great analogy. Great comparison. I see it. I have been keeping up. It's been those Knicks fans. I feel bad for the true Knicks fans. Not to rant real quick, because the hype beasts, I want to say, are kind of infiltrating New York. The real ones, they deserve this. You see guys with the freaking the sponsored mics. I'm let the fans have their moment. You know what I mean? I'm really happy for their fans, but I want to see a good series. So let me get a Spurs win tonight.
Yeah, please. Victor Wembanyama, if you can hear us, please save us. Wemby, please save us. Man, yeah, I'll definitely have to definitely gonna check that out. And then you got UFC Freedom 250 this weekend. We'll talk more about that on Thursday's episode. But I can't wait for that one. That's gonna be crazy. But listen, man, we got to get out of here. Appreciate all of you guys for coming through. Please be sure to like the video on your way out of here. Subscribe to the channel as well. Shout out to the live chat. Shout out to the replay gang. Shout out to the entire Rain gang. Shout out to our members. Big shout out to our members here. Let's clap it up for them. Big shout out to the Rain gang members. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And with that being said, I'm going to let my guy Alex take us out.
Thank you for coming through to episode 413 of the Purple Rain podcast. We love you. We appreciate you. And as always, stay positive and test negative.
Yes. And never, ever forget, even on the rainiest of days, to call God in May Purple Rain.